Oh, hi, this is Boise. My name's James, and we're going to talk about The Disaster Artist. Alright, I'm sorry, that won't happen anymore. But hi, back with another review. We're talking about Disaster Artist. Very exciting movie, so we'll dive into it right now. So The Disaster Artist is about the movie The Room and the creation of that and what happened before, middle, and after. So The Room, for those who do not know, is widely considered the worst movie ever made. It happened in 2003. Tommy Wiseau wrote, directed, starred, produced everything. He did everything with the movie. It was his vision. Came out, one of the worst movies ever made, and then over the years got cult status for getting midnight showings and people laughing at it because it's so bad it's good. And then the Disaster Artist book by Greg Sestero, who was the co-star Mark in the Room movie, came out with the book just to say how bizarre and insane the making of this movie truly was, to where all this insanity created something much greater than the sum of its parts. And going to this movie, I had really no expectations. I did not see The Room up until recently. I wasn't a huge James Franco or I like Dave Franco fine, but Seth Rogen fan. Their comedy's kind of different for me, but I just knew this was a big swing, and it was so different. James Franco looked like he fit the part really well, and it was just something for me to go throw myself into. And then to double up on that, upon hearing the reviews for the movie, it was getting a lot of buzz. People were talking Best Picture nomination, James Franco might be nominated. Like, it was getting a lot of Oscar buzz, and so I ended up getting really excited for this movie. So in anticipation, I watched The Room itself. Now, The Room itself, 2003, like I said, is very, very bad. Hard to watch, almost insane. So I recommend you watch it before seeing this movie because I think it does help with a lot of the jokes in it, but don't watch it by yourself. I'm a person who saw a romantic comedy by myself this year. I saw multiple kids movies by myself this year. Like, I have no shame in watching a movie by myself. I like movies, so I love them. Don't watch this movie by yourself. Don't put yourself through it. It's really hard to watch. There's like 5 sex scenes. 3 of them have like the same footage like sprinkled in all of them. It's a mess. It's hard to watch. Get people around it because it'll kind of make it easier to watch because it is a rough watch. That was The Room, and then now Disaster Artist. Now I saw Disaster Artist. I went with someone. It was a date, I think. I don't know. I'm not gonna. That's another conversation. Anyway, but Disaster Artist was actually a lot of fun. So it had a lot of great callbacks to The Room itself. But it wasn't just about The Room. It was about the relationship between Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero, and seeing them go back and forth. James Franco had a great performance, and then Dave Franco right next to him. Dave Franco played Greg, and just you saw that clash and that relationship build, like they were making each other so great, and then the give and the take and the insanity of making the movie and everyone involved was absolutely insane. And for me, seeing The Room, I had a lot of fun with some like the throwaway lines in the background, like the something about, the oh hi Mark. Not everyone in the theater got that because not everyone saw The Room. She didn't get it. I did, but she still had a lot of fun because there's still just some natural comedy within the movie that was not just like, oh hey, did you see that one movie? This movie's all about that one movie, that joke. Like, it itself was very funny without needing the context of The Room. But I do recommend seeing The Room with the added context because it makes the movie that much better. Performances were on point. This is, I think, one of James Franco's first directorial movies, I think, or probably maybe his biggest one. Everyone killed it. It was great, hysterical. I actually cared about the relationship between Tommy and Greg. It was really one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I'm really surprised how they brought it all together, how you saw Tommy's arc go. He just had a freaking dream and he wanted it, and the dude's insane, but that doesn't mean his dream was any different than Greg's. Like me, like every other wannabe film person out there, they just had a dream and he went for it. It turned out really bad, and now it's actually turned out really good because now he's famous all over again. But you saw there was sympathy, and it was actually a really strong performance by James Franco and Dave Franco as well. They worked great. Granted, they're brothers, but that chemistry worked so well. Fantastic movie. And then the critical response, I believe, is a 95, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Very well received. Some people calling it their favorite of the year. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year. I recommend you see it for full price admission. But beforehand, I do recommend seeing The Room. It's going to be rough. you just got to do it because it makes Disaster Artist that much better. So please see a room with a couple people and then go see Disaster Artist. It's a great time, worth full price without a doubt. That wraps up this review. So quick announcement for like going forward. My top 10 of the year will be coming very soon within the next 3 weeks or so. And before that, I'll have my top 5 must-see Christmas movies for me. So these are my 5 movies that I watch every Christmas. They'll be different from yours most likely, but then it's just something I try to share. And for those who haven't seen some of the more recent stuff, and we're just watching classic, there's still some recent stuff that I want to share that maybe the world doesn't know yet. And so that's going to be my 5 will do that. And then Star Wars comes out next week as well, and so I'll definitely be reviewing that. And that's kind of the weeks going forward, but to wrap all this up, if you like what you saw or heard or I did with my hands, please hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have yourself a kick-ass day. Love you all. Mwah. Coming in for a hug. Oh hi, this is Boise. Oh hi, this is Boise. My name is James. We're talk about Disaster Artist. Crap, this is gonna be tough. Okay.